After my dad died, my stepmom kicked me out so her new boyfriend could move in. I said nothing. Then I checked the cameras I'd secretly installed, and what I found in the footage made her lawyer panic in court. She burst into tears. My stepmom told me to pack my things 2 weeks after we buried my father. Brett's moving in, she said, leaning against my bedroom doorframe, arms crossed, nails freshly manicured, red polish. He needs this room. The light is better in here. The house still smelled like the funeral flowers. Lilies, too sweet, cloying, fake sympathy from people who didn't really care. This is my room. Dad left me. Your dad left me the house. Check the will if you don't believe me. She smiled, thin, cold. You have until Friday to get your stuff out. I was 19, college student, sophomore. This was my childhood home, the room where I'd grown up, where Dad had read me bedtime stories, where we'd built Lego sets on the floor, where he'd helped me study for the SATs. Dad married Linda 4 years ago. I never liked her. She was fake, too interested in his money, his house, his investments. But Dad was happy, or seemed happy, and that was enough for me. He died suddenly 3 weeks ago. Heart attack, 62 years old, too young, too sudden. At the funeral, Linda cried into Brett's shoulder. Her friend she'd known for 2 months. Met him at the gym, she said. He was there for support, she said. I thought it was grief. People cope differently. Some people need support from new friends. Now 2 weeks later, Brett was moving into my room. Where am I supposed to go? My voice came out quiet, shocked. That's not my problem anymore. She examined her nails, picked at a cuticle. You're an adult, 19, you can figure it out. Get an apartment, stay with friends, whatever. I stood there in the doorway of my own room, the room I'd lived in for 19 years, frozen, my throat tight, my chest constricting. Friday, she repeated, then turned and walked away, her heels clicking on the hardwood floor Dad had refinished 2 years ago. I didn't argue, didn't yell, didn't cry, just stood there staring at my room, at the bed, the desk, the posters, the life I was about to lose. I packed Thursday night, everything I owned into boxes and suitcases, clothes, books, photos of Dad, my laptop, the few things that mattered. Linda was out with Brett. Dinner and drinks, probably. Celebrating getting rid of me. Celebrating her new life with her new boyfriend in my dead father's house. I'd be staying on my friend Marcus's couch. He'd offered immediately when I told him. Stay as long as you need, man. This is fucked up. As I packed, I remembered something. The cameras. I'd installed hidden cameras 3 weeks before Dad died. Small ones. Cheap ones from Amazon. Motion activated. Cloud storage. Not for Linda. Not because I suspected anything. For Dad's safety. He'd been getting confused the last few months. Forgetting things. Forgetting where he put his keys. Forgetting appointments. Forgetting to take his medication sometimes. The doctor said it was stress, work pressure, age, nothing serious. But I worried. I wanted to monitor him when I wasn't home. Make sure he was okay. Make sure he took his pills. Make sure he didn't fall or hurt himself. So I installed 3 cameras. Kitchen, living room, hallway. Now, sitting on my bedroom floor surrounded by boxes, I pulled out my phone, opened the app, scrolled back through the footage, started watching. The footage from the week before Dad died. Linda in the kitchen. Morning light through the window. Dad at the table. Coffee mug. Newspaper. His pill organizer in front of him. The big plastic one with compartments for each day. Here, honey, Linda says. Voice sweet, caring. She hands him a glass of water. Don't forget your heart medication. Dad smiles at her. Thanks, Lynn. He takes the pills from the organizer. Swallows them with water. She smiles. Kisses the top of his head. Love you too. Normal. Sweet. Nothing wrong. I kept watching. Next day. Same time. Same routine. Don't forget your pills, sweetheart. She hands him the organizer. But something's off. Her hand moves wrong. Quick. Awkward. Like she's hiding something. I rewound. Watched again. Slower this time. She's palming something. Pills. Switching them. Taking pills out of the organizer. Putting different ones in. My stomach dropped. I watched 5 days of footage. Every morning. Every night. When Dad took his medication. Linda switching pills. Every single time. Dad trusting her. Taking them without looking. Without checking. She was systematic. Careful. Always when Dad wasn't looking directly at the organizer. The last day. The day Dad died. Morning. Dad's face pale. Tired. He looks sick. Lynn, I don't feel right. You're fine. Just tired. She doesn't look up from her phone. Scrolling. Texting someone. My chest feels tight. It's anxiety. You worry too much. Afternoon. Dad at the kitchen table. Working on his laptop. His face is gray now. Sweating. He stands up. Clutches his chest. Linda, something's wrong. Something's really wrong. You're fine. Stop being dramatic. Still on her phone. I can't breathe. Jesus, you're like a child. Sit down. Take a breath. He collapses. Falls hard. His head hits the corner of the table. Then the floor. Linda looks up. Finally. Watches him for a moment. Just watches. Then she walks over. Checks his pulse. Puts her fingers on his neck. Waits. Checks again. Looks at her phone. Checks the time. Waits longer. Then she calls 911. Immediately she's screaming, crying, hysterical. My husband! He collapsed! Please hurry! Oh God, please hurry! Perfect performance. Oscar-worthy. I sat in my empty room surrounded by boxes and watched the footage 3 more times. Made sure I wasn't wasn't seeing things, made sure it was real. It was real. She'd killed him, deliberately, systematically, over months probably, switching his heart medication, giving him the wrong pills, maybe expired ones, maybe nothing at all, maybe something that would trigger a heart attack, and then she'd watched him die, waited, made sure, then called for help when it was too late. My hands were shaking, my whole body was shaking. Then I called a lawyer. I need to contest a will, I said, voice steady despite everything. And I think my stepmother murdered my father. Friday came, moving day. I loaded my stuff into Marcus's truck, box after box, my entire childhood reduced to a dozen boxes and 3 suitcases. Linda stood on the porch, watching, arms crossed, smiling slightly. Brett's car was already in the driveway, his boxes already going into my room. I didn't say goodbye, didn't look at her, just loaded the last box and left. She texted me that evening, good riddance. Brett loves his new room. The light really is better. I didn't respond, spent the weekend with the lawyer, criminal defense attorney who also handled estate law. His name was David Rothman, 50-something, sharp, expensive suit. I showed him everything, every video, every frame. His face went pale, progressively paler as the videos played. This is Jesus Christ. We need to go to the police, right now. Not yet. What? I want her in court first, for the will, in front of everyone, family, friends, everyone who thinks she's the grieving widow. Then we show everyone what she is. He hesitated, stared at me. You're sure? If we wait? I'm completely sure. She thinks she won. I want her to feel safe, comfortable, victorious. Then I want to destroy her. He was quiet for a long moment. Then he nodded slowly. Okay, but the police get everything immediately after. No delays. Agreed. The will hearing was set for 3 weeks later. Probate court. Standard procedure. I spent those 3 weeks living on Marcus's couch, going to class, acting normal, pretending everything was fine. Linda posted on Facebook photos of her and Brett, finding happiness again after tragedy. Dad would want me to move forward. Comments poured in. You deserve happiness. So glad you found someone. He's so handsome. I didn't comment, didn't react, just watched. The day of the hearing arrived. The courtroom was small, wood paneling, fluorescent lights, smell of old paper and furniture polish. Linda showed up in black, full widow's weeds, veil and everything, dabbing her eyes with a tissue, playing the part perfectly. Brett beside her, hand on her back, supportive boyfriend supporting the grieving widow. Some of Dad's friends were there, colleagues, distant relatives, a few neighbors. I sat across the room, quiet, calm. My lawyer beside me with a laptop and a USB drive in his briefcase. Linda's lawyer went first, expensive suit, slicked back hair. Your Honor, this is straightforward. Mrs. Patterson is the legal surviving spouse. The house, the assets, the investments, everything passes to her per the will and state law. There's no dispute here. The judge nodded. Older woman, reading glasses. Mr. Rothman, any objections? Yes, Your Honor. We're contesting on the grounds of fraud and suspected homicide. The room went completely silent. Every head turned. Linda's head snapped up. What? My lawyer stood, buttoned his jacket. We have video evidence that Mrs. Patterson systematically poisoned her husband in the days and weeks leading to his death. That's insane! Linda's voice cracked. Loud, shrill. He had a heart attack. Natural causes. The death certificate says caused by deliberate medication tampering, which we can prove beyond any doubt. The judge leaned forward. Mr. Rothman, this is an extremely serious accusation. Yes, Your Honor. We have extensive footage from cameras installed in the home for Mr. Patterson's medical care. Cameras Mrs. Patterson was unaware of. Linda's lawyer was pale, sweating. Your Honor, we weren't informed of any such evidence. We had no notice. We're informing you now. My lawyer opened his laptop, set it on the table. May I present the evidence? The judge looked at Linda's lawyer. Any objection? He stammered. Your Honor, I need time to review. Denied. This is a will hearing, not a trial. I want to see what we're dealing with. She looked at my lawyer. Proceed. He connected the laptop to the courtroom's display screen. Large screen on the wall. Everyone could see. The video played. Linda in the kitchen, Dad at the table, morning light, his pill organizer, her hand switching pills, quick movement, palming something. Again. Next day. Same motion. Again and again. 5 days of footage, condensed, 6 minutes total, undeniable. Then, the last day. Dad's pale face, his collapse. Linda watching, checking his pulse, waiting, looking at her phone, checking the time, waiting, then calling 911. The screaming, the crying, the performance. The video ended. The courtroom was silent, dead silent. You could hear breathing, someone's stomach gurgling, the hum of the lights. Linda was shaking, face completely white, bloodless. That's out of context. Context? My voice cut through the silence. First time I'd spoken. Everyone turned. What context makes watching someone die okay? Linda's eyes found mine, wide, terrified. You did. For 3 months, maybe longer. Switching his heart medication, giving him the wrong pills, anything to trigger the heart attack, so you could inherit everything, so you could move your boyfriend into my room 2 weeks after the funeral. No, her voice broke, desperate. No, I loved him. I loved your father. You loved his money, his house, his life insurance, the $400,000 policy he took out when he married you. I'd done my research. Found the policy. Found everything. Brett was standing now, backing away from her, looking at her like she was a stranger. Linda? Linda's lawyer dropped his pen. It clattered on the table. Your Honor, I need to consult with my client immediately. Your client needs a criminal defense attorney. The judge's voice was ice, cold and sharp. I'm suspending this hearing immediately and forwarding all evidence to the police and district attorney. 2 police officers stepped into the courtroom from the back. They'd been waiting in the hall. My lawyer had arranged it. Linda Patterson? She looked at me, eyes desperate, pleading, tears streaming. Please, I didn't mean it was an accident, a mistake. Accident? My voice stayed level, calm. You did it every single day for months. The officers moved closer, hands on their belts. Linda broke, completely broke, full sobbing, hysterical. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. He was supposed to leave me everything anyway. I needed it faster. I have debts. I couldn't wait. Her lawyer grabbed her arm, hard. Stop talking. Linda, stop talking right now. Too late. The judge stood. Mrs. Patterson, based on this evidence and your own statements, you're under arrest for suspected murder in the first degree. Officers, take her into custody. They moved forward, pulled out handcuffs. No, please, Linda struggled, tried to pull away. I didn't mean it. I loved him, please. You have the right to remain silent. They cuffed her, read her rights while she sobbed and screamed. Brett had disappeared, slipped out the side door, gone. The courtroom was chaos, people talking, gasping, someone crying. The officers walked Linda toward the door. She was still sobbing, makeup running, black mascara streaking her face. She looked back at me one more time, one last desperate look. I stared back, said nothing, just watched her go. The courtroom slowly cleared, people filing out, whispering, staring at me. My lawyer touched my shoulder. The house reverts to you, all assets, everything. The will is void due to fraud. Good. The DA wants the full footage, all cameras, everything you have. I'll send it tonight. You did the right thing. I nodded. Didn't feel like the right thing. Felt empty, hollow. Dad was still dead. Linda's sobs echoed from the hallway, getting quieter, further away. I picked up my bag, walked out the opposite door, into the parking lot. Afternoon sun, normal day, cars passing, life continuing. Marcus was waiting by his truck. How'd it go? She's arrested. Good, you okay? No. Yeah. Fair. We got in the truck, drove away. I never went back to that courthouse. Linda was charged with first-degree murder 2 days later. The footage was irrefutable. Her confession in court sealed it. She pleaded guilty 6 months later. 15 years to life.